Okay, Joe, so this is Jim Simpson at Odd Parts, and this is your wheel off the Dream Car vehicle. Of course, this is the spare wheel, and my God, you guys built these things solid with, 5/8 inch thick plate on it. And we've followed your idea going similarly strong. For instance, the way we're going to retain these wheel covers here is on a top hat shaped retainer. These retainers are held with 4 of your 8 lug bolts. The lug bolts are hardened steel lug bolts with a 14 millimeter by 2.0 thread in the ends of them. And, we had to heat treat these things in order to cut them. And right now we've got 4 of them, every other stud in your wheel holding up with with this short bolt to retain it solidly in place. Now, I don't know how far your studs stick up. I imagine that they only stick up enough to handle this, but this is one area that you have to keep your eye on. Hopefully our nuts are all short enough so that we won't have any interference there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So we've got this down, locked down onto the wheel with some artificial nuts underneath, pretending that they're studs. Now, every one of our top hats here has a series of these red rings on it. Now, the reason we put the rings on it is to help us identify that we are absolutely correctly positioned parallel to the face of the wheel. And we can do that because as we knock this thing in, we'll follow these little red rings here. Now, it does have to be knocked in. Every one of them is an interference fit, so you can see that they're really tight, and of course it'll be your job to tack weld these guys in here once they're in place properly. But how do you know how far to go down? Well, we take the wheel cover, put the wheel cover in place, and our chrome-plated thrust washers that imitate the original threaded locking collars and rings are really heavy duty. Of course, we inserted this special piece of steel in here, and the chrome shop, they never like what I do. I mean, we brazed these in here, and they had to go over it several times to fill it so they had the perfect meniscus here. You can't tell them their job, they just have to do it. So there is no line in the demarcation between the front and the back plate. Now, as we set this thing down into the hole here, this does center on the open hole. But right now, it's riding on top of the unit here. What we actually want is about 1/8 of an inch clearance between this inner chrome lip and the face of our top hat here. So I have to go down a little further. Little further. Just a tad more. And now we've got about 1/8 of an inch clearance between the face of our painted top hat lid and the inside of this chrome piece here. And this is strong. I mean, there is barely any flex at all through this wheel. So that 1/8 of an inch is plenty to catch the tension we need to hold it down against the rim. Now, I should mention that this is painted with a weld-through zinc, so there's no problem at all in tacking it directly right through the paint. It's conductive, but it's also designed to be a weld-through material. Now you'll notice we have a series of little holes here. These little holes right here are designed to catch the tip of our set screw in our specially made locking devices. Now, I just want to make a comment here. This is a professional 2.5 millimeter Allen's key, but it's not naturally made in China. We measure this with a caliper and it's like 2.3. Well, 2.5, there's a real made in America 2.5 millimeter Allen. We'll toss this into the deal, but I want you to make sure that when you install an Allen in here that it's the correct size, because these guys, are driven with a tiny 2.5 millimeter Allen. We want to make sure that we get full engagement. We don't have anything wobbling out. Now I'm unscrewing this up to its fullest height here, and then our 1/2 inch by 20 fine thread stud will now go down into this mechanism here. When we spin it down, and everything will center. We get some nice tension on this, and then we can put in our Allen head, screw it down, and it will find, there we go, it just found one of the perimeter holes around the outskirt of the unit. That's all there is to it. Now I pull the wrench out, and we have a locked unit. Correct tension on the assembly and what have you. Now obviously our top hat is not welded in yet, but it's in there so tight right now for demonstration purposes. This is fine. Every one of them has the rings on it. It'll help you to know that you're going in straight. And what else can I say about this? I think pretty much that's how you do it. I hope you appreciate the fact that we have zinc plated everything, zinc electroplated things, used stainless steel rivets, and you know, just quality materials throughout. So I hope you appreciate this. I know it's going to look absolutely stunning on the vehicle when you guys get these painted in. And thank you very much for your attention. I hope this answers all your questions, and we stand behind our work. So if you have any problems or questions after you get these things, let us know. Sorry about my greasy fingers here. We'll wipe them up. Thank you.